Jai Gurudev, and warm welcome to this satsang. So many people are asking this question, and it's a very common question actually. How to silence the mind? Through ages, people have been doing spiritual practice, going on meditation courses, practicing mindfulness, different types of yoga, tai chi, many different types of, how to say, things to learn to silence the mind. Because that is one of the most trickiest things, is to get the mind quiet. So I can share what I do and what I use, and hopefully it can inspire you to work on yourself and how to learn and transcend the mind. Because sometimes we think like we are in need to like destroy the mind or conquer the mind and things like that, right? And what we do here is we use Japam, we use mantras, and we chant the mantra, we chant the divine name every day. And Mahavatar Babaji and Guruji has encouraged us to do 16 rounds. And what does 16 rounds means? Some of you are familiar with malas. We can have a Rudraksha mala, we can have a Tulsi mala with 108 beads on it. And I can show you here. This is an example of one, right? So this one has 108 Rudraksha beads. So what I do is I chant. You can do it out loud, you can whisper it, you can do it silently. Okay? So the more quiet you become with the mantra, the deeper the mantra goes within. Right? So my suggestion and my way of doing it is to do 16 rounds every day. So I do 16 rounds of 108 times with the mantra. So I'm going like Om Namo Narayanaya, 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 Om Namo Narayanaya. So the mala helps me keep on counting, right? So often on the malas they have this, I don't have it on mine here, but this is like this last bead here. You see it here? Sometimes there is like a bigger, could be a crystal, it could be a bigger Rudraksha, a bigger Tulsi bead. And what you do is you go like this. Om Namo Narayanaya, 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 Om Namo Narayanaya. And then when you come around, you don't go over that bead, because that means that you go over the Guru, the Master, because we are not above the Master, the Guru. The Guru is higher than us, because a Guru is a realized Master, a God realized Master, and we are just on the level of humans. So when you go around and chant like that, you know that you have gone one round, and that's 108, yeah? And then you continue, you can do it, you don't have to do everything in one round, right? For me, about one round with 16 takes more or less 40 minutes, 40, 45 minutes, and not everyone has that time or that patient. So what you can do is you can chant it during the day, right? You go to, maybe you are walking to your job, you are sitting in the car, you're doing something, right? You're cooking the food, you're blessing the food at the same time with the mantra. So the difference here is, not everyone are familiar with mantras and what mantra really does with us. So mantras are holy, higher vibrations. Okay, so if you listen to a song, right? You listen to a song on the radio. You may like the song, and the song brings out good vibrations, right? But even if that song is nice and that vibration from that song are good, it is not of the same vibration as chanting the divine names. Okay? So the benefit will be like it will help you to transcend the mind. And when you do so many rounds, it will have an effect on your brain and on your thinking pattern. Okay? Because how does the mind works? This is something that is very important to know. How does my mind function? Because once you understand how your mind is working, then you can understand that this is how everyone's mind is working. Okay, so we have something called samskaras. And this is impressions, experiences, programming from both this life and past life that is in our subconscious mind. And this is a part of what we think and how we act. So this goes on in the mind day in and day out, right? You can notice that you have a certain thinking pattern, right? Most people have. It comes and it goes, like the same type of thoughts all the time. And the thoughts are also moving in a very high speed, yeah? Because we have many thoughts during the day. So there are many thoughts, and they are creating a very little tiny space. So you don't have much space between each thought, right? And it goes like this. And each thought are in one vibration, one particular vibration, yeah? And this creates another thought that is connected to the same vibration. So once you are in this rat race of thinking, all of a sudden you will be in there creating a little movie, a little drama within your own mind. Conflicts. It's very easy to create inner conflicts within our mind. So with the help of Japam, with the help of chanting the divine names, you are able to process and transform yourself to the other side. Because in this side, we are totally stuck in the mind. We cannot get out of the mind. But with the help of working with the mantras, we are able to cross over to the other side, which is beyond the mind. Okay? So, in the earlier satsang that I did the other day, I talked about the gunas, and if we are very positive, we can have a mind that is very positive, and that is the sattvic quality. Yeah. But Bhagwan, the divine, is even beyond the sattvic nature. The sattvic nature, the rajasic nature, and the tamasic nature is connected to our energy. So when you have a lot of thoughts that is depressive, heavy, This is a tamasic energy. And when there is hyperactivity in the mind, let's say you are getting a message from someone, yeah, and this creates a lot of turbulence. So you automatically you leave the present moment and you go into the future. Oh, how should I do this and what will happen and so on, yeah. So the mind becomes a bit stressed, hyperactive, right? And this is an rajasic quality. But the sattvic mind is very peaceful. But we are still in the mind, and we understand that we are in the mind because we have a mind. We are thinking. So the mind is there. Mind is actually just a bunch of thoughts coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. So we have been practicing this for eons of years. We are seeing monks, we are seeing meditators sitting in caves, meditating, we are sitting on class, meditating, in the daily work, in the jobs, in the regular field. We are meditating, right? We have seen this for a long time. But are we able to silence the mind? And what is this silence? This silence is like a direct connection with the divine, direct communication. So there are many techniques to do it, but this time I just want to talk about Japam and mantra and how powerful it is to really close down the mind. And if you work on it on a daily basis, you are going to see great progress in your mind, in your life. Because once you silence the mind, you will tap into a total new reality. Because this old paradigm that we have and everything that is going on in the world, it's so easy for us to just grasp a little bit of everything, right? And then we don't process it. It just stays there. And some impressions are stronger than others, right? We notice this, that some experiences, something we read, something we hear, we listen to, it becomes very strong. And it's very hard for us to let go because of attachment, right? The level of attachment differs. But we have to be able to let go, to really transcend. And Japam is the way to do it. So my recommendation is that you get yourself a mala if you don't already have it. And you start to chant. You start to do the divine name. Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya, 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 Om Namo Narayanaya. Or you can whisper it. Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya. And as soon as you start to whisper it, you will see that the level of the mind will become more subtle. And if you start to do it silently, you will see that you will go even a step deeper within. So this is something that I use, which is very helpful for me. So this is what I wanted to talk about today, because if we can get a grip of the mind and at least silently moving into more silence, right, to come a little bit more in depth of your true nature. Because as long as we are in the mind, as long as we are in the ego, we can never experience the true self. We can never experience who we are. Okay? Who are you? Why are you incarnated as a human being right now? With too much mind, with too much ego, you will never know. Someone asked me once about our Dharma, because the ego can make us we become so prideful, right? We have so much pride. And everything has to be so special when it comes to the Dharma. But sometimes I have to let you know that the Dharma is what God has put you to do right now. How are you going to be able to fulfill a high level of Dharma if you are not even able to handle the daily tasks as a human being? Then God will not give you this bigger adventure. So first we learn to appreciate who we are and accept everything that comes in our way with love and with fully devotion. Bhakti, to be fully, lovingly, devotionally into every action. Everything you do is for the Lord. Everything you do is for the divine. And it's the same time when you do the Japam. Because sometimes the mind just wants to be finished. Oh, where am I? Oh, I have 5 rounds left. Oh, right, I have 30 more times to chant. So you are not present. What we need in our sadhana is quality. We want to have quality in our sadhana. So rather do 10. You sit and chant the divine name 10 times, fully surrendered to the Lord Himself, and you will experience something much more deeper. But if you are like this, it will not be the same. So work on always bringing the mind back. When you notice that your mind are running away a little bit, just get the mind back in. Just get the mind back in. And just go deeper into the sound of the divine name that you are chanting. This is how you say, contract the mind to come like this, yeah? Because otherwise the mind is very all over the place, yeah? But as we learn how to bring the attention, the concentration, the focus deeper in, we will slowly move into a deeper silence within ourselves. So I hope this can be of inspiration to you, to move you closer to yourself and closer to God. Thank you for listening. Jai Gurudev.